was part of a huge migration of people who came to the Bay Area in the mid-'70s. Out of college, we were seeking higher consciousness, and San Francisco was the epitome. It was called the Human Potential Movement. We were young. Of course we had potential. Werner Erhard's Est. Did you get it? Was the catchword for all things spiritual, higher consciousness, and trainings. I was involved in a community that was called the Loving Relationships Training. There were many offshoots of Werner's work. Now, this particular workshop that I did had an element in it called rebirthing. It was a breathing process and a meditation. As the story goes, Leonard Orr was sitting in his bathtub, meditating and breathing, and re-experienced his birth. I'm going to call this rebirthing. So how did I end up in this world so far from my life in Miami, Florida? At the time, Miami was not the hip international city that it is now. It felt stifling. The people felt shallow. And my small Jewish community wasn't at all, it seemed, interested in higher consciousness and spirituality. San Francisco was going to be the place for me. I knew there was something deeper and exciting for me there. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair. And I did. A gardenia or a camellia every day to my job as a waitress at Flynn's Landing in Sausalito, California. Sausalito, just saying the name, doesn't that bring up vistas, sailboats, beautiful air? And I had an apartment right above Bridgeway. Now, my family wasn't all too pleased with this because I had moved out of San Francisco to become a better musician. I quit my job. I was a director of a school that we taught English as a second language, and I gave it all up. I enrolled in Fundamentals of Music, Voice 1, Piano 1, the College of Marin. That was much to my family's chagrin. Now, I hang out mostly with artists and musicians. In particular, there's this one rock and roll band that I love, and they have a studio just down the road in Tam Junction. And I drive over there every day. I sit in on the rehearsals. I get to know their girlfriends. I'm what you might have called an esteemed groupie. Oh, you'd want to be a groupie too for these guys, I'm telling you. I said they were gifted musicians, and they had that look, that Marin County look at the time, successful, long hair. They were the bomb. The name of the band is Foreplay. Now, none of these guys have a credit card. So when they get gigs and they need to rent equipment, I let them use my card. No, they always repay me, and they also offer to be my backup band when I do performances at Alibaba Cafe or at festivals in Sausalito. Life-changing moment. One day, my older cousin Margaret, a kindred spirit, comes to visit. Oh, Ginger, I know I should be happy with my life teaching law school at American University in Washington, D.C., but I knew there was something different for me, and I magically discovered the Loving Relationships Training. My life is forever changed. What, you do seem a little different. Oh yes, and I'm here this week to go to Westerbeck Ranch in Sonoma County. I'm going to be taking a rebirthing seminar. The leader of the Loving Relationships Training is Sandra Ray. She's tall and powerful and runs an amazing workshop. Her counterpart, Bobby, is also a certified rebirther. And Vincent, you should meet Vincent. Vincent is also training to be a certified rebirther. Well, what's rebirthing? I'm gonna let you experience it, Ginger. Go run your tub, put on a bathing suit, and meet me in the bathroom. I've got my snorkel with me. What? Trust me, dear cuz, as you always have. Okay, the water's running. Oh, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to do this. Ginger, just breathe. So after I get over the absurdity of the situation, I'm in my bathtub in a bathing suit, breathing through a snorkel. I finally get into it. Wow, Margaret, that was amazing. Wow, I felt like I was in the womb. I didn't have that birth canal thing and the light like Leonard Orr talks about, but this was amazing. Oh, Ginger, I do wish you would come with me this weekend. Can you get out of work? Well, one of the advantages of working in a restaurant in a tourist town is this. Who wants my shifts this weekend? $20, $50, $100. Sold. And before you know it, Margaret and I are sitting my little Renault Le car driving up Highway 101. We have written directions, no GPS back then. The ride is grand. On roads never traveled in more ways than one. We've got the radio blasting. This is what I thought life would be like when I moved to California. We are young, we are free. Oh, there's the turnout. Oh, look, cows, horses. Are we on the set of Bonanza? I walk into the seminar room and my life is unbelievably altered. There's a lightness in the air. Crystals with prisms, rainbow prisms, all over the place. People are smiling. There's a gentle breeze wafting through diaphanous curtains. I feel a higher vibration. Oh, you must be Ginger. Oh, we love Margaret, so we love you. Isn't she great, Bobby? Oh. And just then, I feel heat down my right arm, and I turn to meet Vincent. I have never been so stricken with a man in my life. He had a regal bearing, Greek profile, twinkling eyes, and the sweetest of smiles. Nice body, too. I can barely speak. Thank goodness Sandra convenes the seminar. We're all sitting in a circle on pillows, 20 or 25 people. Vincent sits right across from me. I can barely look up. I'm feeling shy and a little brazen at the same time. Vincent, darling, will you please start us off with a poem or a song? He's a musician. Traveling along this flight, breathing gives us insight into ourselves and the world. I am filled with delight. as the afternoon goes on, people start getting really comfortable talking. They're going around the circle, revealing things about themselves they maybe didn't even know a few hours ago. The sun starts to set. I can't believe the afternoon is over. And I see this little white piece of paper going around the circle. For Ginger. Vincent's smiling at me. He stares at you. You pretend not to notice. Though your eyes are lowered, you stare back at him. You know he's holding you. Thus began a passionate, tumultuous, and somewhat scandalous part of my life. Vincent tells Sandra he does not want to be her lover and moves in with me in Sausalito. We're practicing loving relationships. We never go to bed angry. We always tell the truth. We travel together to all these other loving relationships trainings. We go to Portland, Oregon, New York City, Washington, D.C., and even a rebirthers jubilee in Sun Valley, Idaho. All the while breathing and raising our consciousness. At the time, I took a lot of other seminars. One in particular was run by Shirley MacLaine, who was on her spiritual journey. I had just read Out on a Limb. She taught us about the chakras and chakra cleansing, and but the one carryaway that I took from this was she said, and I still abide by this, when you're in a situation where you have to make a decision, either with yourself or with someone else, to meditate on it, and always go for the highest thought. My move to San Francisco was my highest thought. Fast forward a few years, and I am, once more, sitting in a loving relationships training seminar. We like the community. We seem to get along. We like each other. We learn so much from each other. It would be great if we got this romantic thing. Vincent and I have broken up. Lovers change. It's so passionate, exciting at first, and then reality, commitment, rear their heads. The inevitable breakup. And then, well, lessons learned. On to the next loving relationship. Well, this particular seminar that I'm sitting in happens to be in San Francisco, so I can drive back and forth from Sausalito at night. And I really am happy to be there. There's some new people, but in particular, there's a new organizer. His name's Michael. He's funny, he's kind of attractive, and he's got that New York swagger, if you know what I mean. Everything's better in New York. Like this Bronx woman. Oh, the nightlife in New York. Oh my God, it goes on forever. The museums. Now, aren't the museums amazing? And the theater, extraordinary. Don't forget about the pizza. Anywhere you go in the country, New York style pizza. On one of the breaks, Michael comes up to me. So, how's about you and I hang out on Monday? You can show me around Frisco. San Francisco. Yeah. Okay, I'll buy you lunch. So the weekend completed, I end up driving in from Sausalito. It's one of those gorgeous days in San Francisco. I've got the sunroof open, and we're going up and down the hills. It's so beautiful. Hey, these hills! I could never drive here. because in New York, you don't need to drive because we got the best transportation system. Well, we have Muni and BART and the ferries. Yeah, but they take too long. And you know, you never connect to the one from the other. No. Oh, God, I've got to change this energy. Michael, look. There's Coit Tower and the Bay Bridge. You want to hear about a bridge? The Verrazano Narrows Bridge. It's a feat of mankind. It connects Staten Island to Brooklyn. There's never been a bridge like this before. And then I have an idea. Michael, you want to see a bridge? I'm going to show you a bridge. I get off. Now, I did mention to you that I worked at the restaurant Sausalito, Flynn's Landing. Well, we don't just have tourists. We have regulars. And the regulars come in during the week, weekends, but mostly during the week. In particular, there was a group of 4 guys who were engineers at the Golden Gate Bridge. They used to tease me that Dan, the chief engineer on the bridge, had a crush on me. He was very nice, you know, but he just came time. And, I remember I'm hanging out with Foreplay. But I remember that he told me, Ginger, if ever you want to go up to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge, you just let me know. And I remember that. I find the payphone. 411. Information, could you please give me the phone number of the engineering department of the Golden Gate Bridge? Thank you. 1-415-530-5589. Hello, I'd like to speak to Dan Jones, please. Ginger Parnes. Ginger. Hi, how come you're giving me a call? I'm so glad to hear from you. Well, Dan, remember how you used to tell me that you take me up on the top of the Golden Gate Bridge sometime? How's about today? Well, Ginger, we had people from the White House yesterday, but we can do it. Come on down, park by the toll plaza. Oh, I have to tell you, Dan, I have with me a guy from New York. He keeps bragging about the Verrazano Bridge. We'll show him, Ginger, we'll show him. So, this is going to be an exciting photo op. No cell phones, however, I'm an avid photographer and always have my Nikon in the back seat of the car. I grab it, we go in, I introduce the guys. Dan gives us hard hats, and we get in this like a golf court and start going down the south side of the bridge, facing, well, actually the east side. We're facing Alcatraz. I can see it to the side, and I'm seeing, well, that's all this international orange. We're stopped right in this little semicircle, and we get out of the golf cart, and Dan puts a key in and opens the door. We're in an elevator, nose to nose. Oh, I didn't even think. I'm going up the top of the South Tower of the I'm inside the Golden Gate Bridge. We step out, and I'm in this dark area. Feels a little womb-like, because I got rebirthing on my mind. Follow me. And Dan goes over to a ladder. And starts climbing up this metal ladder. Follow me. So I follow him. And Michael's behind me. Oh, I'm so glad I wore pants today. Then Dan throws open a hatch, and this blinding light comes at us. I do feel like I've come through the birth canal. No wonder babies cry. I can hardly stand up. Honestly, I crawl out. After all, I'm over 700 feet above sea level. It's windy and the bridge is swaying a little bit. I finally get my bearings. Oh, wow. The North Tower with Marin County beyond, and the beautiful Rainbow Tunnel. The Farallon Islands, it's one of those clear days you can see straight through to the Farallon Islands. And I turned to look at San Francisco, glistening in the sunlight. This city that I've made my own. Hey, let's take some pictures. Does this hard hat make me look fat? I turned to Michael. So, Michael, what was that you were saying about the bridges in New York? The highest thought. We ain't got nothing like this in New York.